One nation, one election. Benefits are more for India. One nation, one election, ONOE, is a concept that has been discussed extensively in India over the past few years. It refers to the idea of holding simultaneous elections for both the Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament, and the state legislative assemblies across the country. Currently, elections are held separately for the Lok Sabha and each state assembly, resulting in a frequent cycle of elections throughout the country. Advocates of one nation, one election argue that this reform could bring numerous benefits to India. Let's explore some of the key advantages. 1. Cost reduction. One of the primary benefits of ONOE is the potential for significant cost savings. Currently, conducting separate elections for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies incurs substantial expenses for the government, including expenses related to security, logistics, manpower, and campaigning. By holding simultaneous elections, the frequency of elections would be reduced, leading to a significant decrease in overall costs. 2. Efficiency and governance. Simultaneous elections could lead to better governance and administrative efficiency. With elections taking place less frequently, elected representatives and government officials would have more time to focus on policy making, implementation, and development initiatives rather than being caught up in constant election cycles. This could result in more stable and consistent governance at both the central and state levels. 3. Reduced disruption. The current system of staggered elections often leads to prolonged periods of campaigning and political uncertainty as different states go to the polls at different times. This can disrupt normal government functioning and policy continuity. By synchronizing elections, the disruptive impact of elections on governance and public life could be minimized, allowing for smoother transitions between different administrations. 4. Enhanced voter turnout. Holding simultaneous elections could potentially lead to higher voter turnout. Currently, voter turnout tends to be lower in state assembly elections compared to Lok Sabha elections. By combining the two, voters would only need to go to the polls once every few years, which could encourage more people to participate in the electoral process, leading to a more representative democracy. 5. Reduced polarization. Some argue that simultaneous elections could help reduce political polarization by fostering a more national-level discourse during election campaigns. Currently, state elections often focus on local issues and regional identities, leading to divisive rhetoric and fragmented political landscapes. By aligning state and national elections, political parties may be incentivized to focus more on overarching national issues, potentially fostering a greater sense of national unity and reducing regional polarization. 6. Resource optimization. ONOE could enable better utilization of resources, both financial and human. Currently, during elections, there is a massive deployment of resources such as security personnel, election machinery, and funds. With simultaneous elections, these resources can be pooled and utilized more efficiently, ensuring equitable distribution and maximizing their impact. 7. Streamlined policy. Implementation. One of the challenges in Indian governance is the coordination between the central and state governments, especially when they are ruled by different political parties. Simultaneous elections could align the electoral cycles of the central and state governments, potentially leading to better coordination and cooperation between them. This, in turn, could facilitate more effective policy implementation and development initiatives, as both levels of government would be more likely to work in tandem towards common goals. 8. Reduced influence of money and muscle power. Simultaneous elections could potentially mitigate the influence of money and muscle power in elections. Currently, the frequent occurrence of elections provides more opportunities for vested interests to influence the electoral process through illicit means. By reducing the frequency of elections, ONOE could make it more difficult for such elements to exert their influence, leading to fairer and more transparent elections. In conclusion, the implementation of one nation, one election in India holds the promise of several significant benefits, including cost reduction, improved governance efficiency, enhanced voter turnout, reduced political polarization, better resource utilization, streamlined policy implementation, and reduced influence of money and muscle power in elections. However, it is essential to carefully consider the practical challenges and potential drawbacks associated with this reform, such as constitutional amendments, logistical issues, and concerns about federalism and regional diversity. Overall, ONOE has the potential to strengthen India's democratic processes and institutions, but it requires thorough deliberation and consensus, building among all stakeholders before its implementation.